All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are live. We have a special guest joining Mel's and my shows tonight. Susan Lynn's joining us for some politics and current events. What's going on, you guys?
Susan, you start.
How's
Everything is good. Everything is good. I feel like we're in the catbird seat. I feel like politics is getting ready to get really, really active. And I feel like things are about to happen that perhaps all three of us have been seeing for months and telling people it was going to happen. But now is when it's going to happen. Yeah. And we've been saying, I don't know you guys, but I've been seeing March and April for 6 months. And I didn't even know why. It's before I even knew about the eclipse. So guess what? We're about to be in March and April, so I'm excited.
Get the popcorn ready.
Yep, buckle up your seatbelts. It's going to be a wild ride.
It's going to be wild. It really is going to be wild.
I was just happy that they arrested that Smirnoff because he lied to the.
Isn't that a vodka? I mean, did you guys drink vodka when you were kids? I mean, this is like a cheap vodka. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad they arrested him too.
And now I hear that the GOP in the House is still considering articles of impeachment. I'm like, your whole case was just blown to smithereens. No. And Hunter Biden, I knew that they wouldn't get that much on him. They didn't have anything. But that Smirnoff was rearrested today. So let's see what happens.
Oh, he was rearrested today?
Yeah, one judge let him out. Restricted his movement and surrendered his passports. And another judge in California, federal judge, issued a warrant for his rearrest. So
good.
He was out a few hours and he got rearrested.
I was feeling like it wasn't a problem. I mean, you guys let me know what you think. But when I was looking into that energy, it's almost Jack Smith was saying, yeah, go ahead, because we know Trump is going to call him. Somebody's going to call him and try to make some kind of deal. And it's just, if Trump can do anything, it's make his own situation worse. Right. So, you know what I mean? So I almost felt like he was bait, like wandering around out there. He was really, because either Russia, somebody's going to make a play. Somebody's going to call him. Somebody's going to do something. So I kind of felt like Jack Smith was just kind of sitting around just waiting for, some more good stuff to happen.
Yeah. Jack Smith plays multidimensional chess.
He does.
Really?
He does. Way over my head.
Oh, yeah. And I heard yesterday that I don't know if it's Jack Smith or they're going to try to get Eileen Loose Cannon off the documents case. And I see her gone. So
I see her gone. Her gone. I just don't know when. But everything that she does, Jack Smith is creating a case against her. Every time he sends a rebuttal, every time he puts an opinion, he's like, this is case law. This isn't right. So every time he does that, it's like a whole bunch of papers. He can then go to the bar or go to whoever he has to go to the next court up and say, this woman she's just not doing the thing. She's not following the law.
And I think that's going to happen sooner rather than later too. I'm
really? When do you guys see that happening?
I feel like she's going to be off the case here soon, within the next several months,
I see the number 4. It could be 4 months or it could be April. But I knew when Jack Smith met with her, behind closed doors, that I knew she was in deep doo-doo. So
She really is. Do you think, I think there's a possibility she might just step down. Try to keep her law license intact and just step down.
If she's smart, she'll step down, because otherwise what's going to happen is she's going to make a stupid ruling and Jack Smith is going to, or maybe not a stupid ruling, and Jack Smith is going to take it to the circuit court, federal court, and they will say that she'll have to get off the case. I mean, they've already reprimanded her sternly 3 times. And so
she's not going to be there for long. She's not a lifetime appointee. Like she should be, but she's not going to be. It's just a matter of when everything lines up and boom, she's gone.
Somebody asked in the chat if we're talking about Cannon. The answer is yes, we are. Yep, she'll be. We'll send her a plane ticket. How's that?
I'll send her one of those cards, one of those greeting cards. So sorry for your loss. Sorry to hear that you lost your lifetime appointed judgeship.
A plane ticket to Mar-a-Lago.
And a plane ticket to Mar-a-Lago. Oh, God, no. God, no. That's all we need.
I wouldn't want that. I just got to do one little advertisement if I can. I thought I had my Africa trip sold out. I was sure I had one opening left, and I was sure the person would go, but she couldn't make it due to a schedule conflict. So anyway, I've still got one availability. So if anybody's interested, let me know.
How do they get in touch with you?
Oh, that's a good duh, right? We'll segue into that one, right? They can call my office, 847-590-5411, or go to my website, www.meldoer.com. So one space available.
When is the event? When are you guys leaving?
June the 20th.
June the 20th. Okay, y'all better y'all better get on his website. Okay.
Thanks.
It's going to be an amazing trip.
Man, going to Africa, that sounds amazing. I've heard about some of your trips. I'm always jealous. It sounds amazing.
Come with us on one of them.
Yeah, I know, right? I need to bust myself out of Texas. I might have to ask for help here soon. Send help. Get me out.
We got to have it first.
I got to vote. I actually I got to vote like tomorrow. So I can't leave until I vote.
Well,
I got to get rid of Abbott. Come on, y'all. That's harsh.
Speaking of Texas, the Houston Chronicle endorsed Biden.
I know it.
It's like,
yes.
That was huge.
That's huge because even though Houston is Democrat, our newspaper is not. So,
what is the Austin newspaper?
the Austin American Statesman, something like that. Austin American Statesman.
I wonder who they'll endorse, because I see other newspapers in Texas following suit.
I mean, they have to. It's a no-brainer at this point. It's like fascism or, American values and democracy. It's not a hard choice. It's not really something someone should have to think about. But
I'll take it up a notch. It's either totalitarianism.
Totalitarian. Yeah, it's true. That's true.
It's interesting though with with all of these off-year elections or special elections where usually there's like very low voter turnout for Democrats. George Santos' seat just went blue last week, which I think all of us have been predicting. And it wasn't even close. So, I think that's pretty comforting in the fact too, that, even in off-year elections and even in red states, because of the Republican Party and abortion and all that, people are still really motivated to vote.
It's funny. They kept predicting the red wave.
I know.
It wasn't even pink trickle.
No.
And in these off-year elections, the Democrats keep taking it. So I think that's a bellwether of what's to come.
It's a bellwether. And I just think it's going to get better and better into the summer. I just think this is going to be a good summer. It's going to be a good summer for Biden. It's going to be a good summer for the economy. It's going to be a good summer for America for the most part. And I think that's going to usher us right into November.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, you made a prediction. You've been saying it for a couple of years that the Republican Party is imploding. And I understand now in Michigan, there's that the pro-Trump factions are dueling. They're in a lot of financial trouble. In fact, Christina Caramo she's suing. She's a head of the Republican Party in Michigan. She's suing the party so they can sell the organization's headquarters to remain money. Now, the Trump organization already tried to replace her with somebody else, but she's not stepping down. So there's a real, what show going on there. So you're right.
I've seen it too. Yeah, the Republican Party just completely crashing and burning terribly.
Well, and look at this too. I mean, was it Laura Trump? They're trying to put her in the RNC, and all the money, they pretty much want to hoard all the money for Trump. So it's not going to be any money for these Republican Congress races, besides anything that they fundraise on their own. So it's not going to be good for Republicans this year.
No, that was the death knell. I'm like, oh my, you really want to make sure this party doesn't survive. Let's just hook up the Hoover to your bank account straight into Trump's,
Right.
I feel like there might be a lawsuit. I just got that there might be a lawsuit from the National Republican Party against Trump or whoever gets installed as, whether it's Laura or whoever. I feel like somebody's going to throw a lawsuit together and say, this one against the rules or something.
Yeah, there's something with that. I agree, Susan. But I almost feel like I had read on it, I think, last week, and I did feel like Laura Trump might actually get in there. I don't know if it's president or if it's like like
There
second
was
in
somebody
command
else too. There were two people they were talking about, Laura and somebody else.
But I feel like she's going to get in there, and I do think her plan is to take the money to give to Trump and
run. Take the money and run.
Well,
it's the best thing that could happen for us.
If she gets in there, she won't stay long. That's for sure.
But she'll do some damage.
Oh yeah. Kevin, somebody gave a sticker. Lucky McLucky, $10. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Lucky. And cute puppy.
Oh, that's my dog.
Oh, that's a cute puppy.
Wow. We don't like dogs or anything, right?
No, we're all three dog lovers. Somebody wants to know what your liquid you're drinking is, Mel. The bright orange liquid.
Oh. It's about the only one. It's I don't know if I can say it. It's my favorite pop. It's Fanta.
Oh, it's Fanta. Okay, cool.
Fanta. That looks like Fanta orange.
Yeah.
I'm drinking mango bubbly.
Oh, I love mango.
Oh my God, yes. Have you tried the orange cream flavor of that?
Very good. Very good.
I've been like addicted to that, but I got the cherry.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So we're all drinking bubbly. Yes. Except for Mel, who's drinking some kind of nuclear orange Fanta.
Yeah, I used to love the color orange until Trump with his orange hair, but that's not even an orange. That's like I mean, Donald, if you're gonna do orange, here's the color for you, buddy.
Oh my God.
So what I want to ask you guys something, and it's a hit that I got, and I shared it on my Tuesday show. But I found it very interesting that the day before Navalny passed, that the House quickly hurried out of the Congress to go on a vacation. And I can't help to think that they had a bit of a heads up and they want to kind of leave things in limbo so they don't pass any Ukraine funding.
And they're not asked.
Yeah.
They can't answer any questions now. They're not there to be interviewed.
I probably think because who's running the House? The preacher, Johnson? No, Trump is.
Right.
And he probably told them no matter what Biden did for the border thing, not to bring it to the House floor, and also the same about Ukraine funding. But my guides are telling me that Biden's got something up his sleeve so he could kind of go around the House and get funding to Ukraine.
With Ukraine. Okay, good.
And
I almost feel like
go ahead, Kevin. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, though, I feel like I don't remember what the procedure's called. I think they take it to like their committees and to bring it up on the floor, and they can go around the speaker to bring it up. But I almost feel like enough Republicans working with Democrats in it passing.
And go around it, right.
The only reason Mike Johnson won't bring it to the floor is because he's afraid that if he does, that the MAGAs will vote or start a movement to get him out. But what I see is the moderate Republicans started a movement to get him out.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I can see it.
So either way, he's out.
Either way,
he's out soon. I almost feel like I was picking up March, April, maybe May, within the next month or two.
Yeah, I think May at the latest.
And my guides had shown me too that, Ukraine getting money, yay. I see them getting the money. So I don't know how Biden's going to do it, but I know he's going to do it. And I also predicted, my guides show me that Biden would take executive action about the border. I don't think the crisis is as big as the media is making.
I agree.
I think he might close the border by executive action.
There is an executive action. He's already talked about it. There is something he can do. The problem is that it runs afoul of asylum laws. Trump tried to do the same thing. Apparently, Trump tried to close the border using the exact same rule, but a court overruled him. But I'm with you, Mel. I see, and I'm probably all three of us, but I see Biden doing something. I feel like he might even work with the president of Mexico to have a two-state sort of two-country solution about the border. But he's going to do something, and I think it's going to be pretty dramatic. I think it's going to maybe kind of put off the progressives in the Democratic Party a little bit. But I think he has to do it. He has to come out strong. He has to come out decisive, and he has to do it this summer. He has to.
Oh, he will. I also, when you said that, working with the president of Mexico, I got my psychic light bulb went on as we speak. I think Biden's already having talks with the president of Mexico.
Yes. I don't know what they can do, but it would help, right? If Mexico was helping on their side, no one would get through. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? No one would get through. So,
Ooh, my light bulb just went on. What Biden could do is talk to the president of Mexico and ask the president of Mexico to close that border.
Yeah, that's right.
From the Mexico side along
Texas. Game over.
And it would come out that Biden had done that. No matter what he does with closing the border or whatever, the Republicans, at least the MAGAs, they're not going to want it. Oh, it's wrong, blah, blah, blah. But
they'll find something to say about it. But I love it because it shows Biden's strength, which is his bipartisanship and his statesmanship. He's the kind of guy that can go to another country and say, hey, let's do some horse trading. I need help with this border. I've got this, trade deal I can help you with. Let's make a deal here. And that's what Biden does best.
I agree. I've been saying for a while, I think even in my 2024 predictions, I felt like Biden was going to do some kind of executive action and get a little bit more aggressive with the border, making sure
he has to. He just has to. It's the house is broken, literally broken, and then half of the judiciary is broken. I mean, look at our Supreme Court. So I saw something about some justices recusing themselves. I think it was it Kagan? 3 Democrat justice recuses themselves, because they have this new ethics thing. So now everybody's recusing themselves, which is good if everybody does it. But I don't think Thomas is doing it.
Right.
Well, Thomas will never do it.
He'll never do it.
But I do see legislation passed that says that they can't do some of the things that Thomas has done, like take big money or big trips and things like that from donors who want laws passed that got passed. So I see legislation to stop that.
I see term limits eventually. I think within the next couple of years too.
Yes, I agree with you.
Said that the House can do a discharge position to bring the votes on the Ukraine funding on the floor before.
Nice.
Doesn't agree with that, and all right. I did feel like it was going to be brought up here. I think there's enough pressure for Republicans. There's some clearly that are Putin's puppets, but enough of them that with what's going on with what happened with Navalny, Russia's kind of moving in a lot more stronger now because Ukraine doesn't have all of the stuff that they need. But I'd see that going through sooner rather than later. But what's interesting too, I think I've talked about it with Mel and with Susan. My guides always showed me that dark money channels were going to be exposed, and we were going to see all of this Russia connection with Republicans. I think even a couple of Democrats. But isn't it interesting that we keep on hearing about Russia? This ex-FBI agent. Like I said, what I was intuiting that Russia had gotten through to the House before Navalny was murdered. We're going to continue to see a lot of that, I think, in the next couple of months.
When I read about Alexander Smirnov, the FBI informant that lied, and in my notes, I'm glad you said that, Kevin, because he was arrested again in Nevada. He had extensive contacts in Russia with the Russian intelligence. But I wrote in my notes with a question mark, was he a bag man for dark money? And the answer is yes.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
And Russian intelligence officials. It says that they got the Hunter Biden dirt from Russian intelligence officials that Smirnov did.
Right.
So,
The setup.
right.
That's
It was
a setup. It's so ridiculous.
So, Kevin, I think you're right that
Yeah.
a lot of what's going on in the House is a playbook from Putin.
Absolutely.
Did you hear that Biden called him a crazy SOB?
I love this Biden. I love it.
Well, Putin responded back, and I mean, it wasn't very nice, but Biden didn't use, I don't know, whatever. But I was glad he called him that. Now, if Trump had done it, been a different story. Everybody would have looked the other way.
Right.
Everybody would have cheered.
Exactly. So,
anyway. Do you both feel like there's going to be any repercussions for Comer or Jim Jordan? Because obviously we've been saying this for a while, that the whole Biden impeachment, that there's been nothing there, but they're desperate to kind of find something. But now that Smirnov was arrested, do you see them being, in trouble or removed because of their because they're still going to push this narrative and try to find something?
They're still pushing the impeachment narrative, but it's not going to get anywhere. Just like when they're trying to impeach the head of Homeland Security. I can't think of his name right now, but that won't go through either. So ultimately, history will make Jim Jordan look like the goofy idiot that he really is. And this is going to come back to bite him hard. And I don't see him reelected, by the way.
Oh.
Jordan specifically, I agree with you. Or Comey. What's his name?
Comer.
Yeah, I don't see them. If they get reelected, it's just a matter of time before they get indicted, convicted.
Exactly. I was feeling
you
like
can do
Jordan,
this publicly while you're a House member or a senator, or you can do this privately. It's up to you. However you want to do it.
Yeah. I was almost feeling like Jordan might get reelected, but then taken out for
that's what I'm saying. He might get reelected, maybe, but he's gonna be gone. And that guy, Tuberville, I just got him. How y'all feel about him? Because I just got that maybe he's gonna be somebody who's gonna be exiting stage left.
I see that too. He'll be gone.
Yeah. I see jail time for him. And
me too.
Jordan, it feels like it's close, but I could see Jordan in jail as well. I don't though. Comer.
Is his name Comer?
Comer.
I think.
I'm not feeling it quite as strongly with him as I am with Jordan, with Tuberville. But I don't think that they're going to get in trouble for, continuing to push this narrative, even,
right.
Even though there was a Russian asset, telling them Russian propaganda there.
So Chili Dog is
very interesting, right?
What's that?
So it is very interesting.
Oh,
we told you spring was going to be
interesting,
and we're kind of the energy's just been so heavy this last week. I don't know if it's the full moon or if it's the eclipse energy coming up in April, but there's definitely a big heaviness that I've been feeling.
Yeah, like a big wet blanket.
Yeah, that's a good analogy, like a big wet blanket.
Big wet blanket. Yeah. So Chili Dog was asking about Ukraine aid. We did talk about it, but basically what we said was there's money coming. Like, was it Japan who gave them a bunch of money and then another country gave them all of their military? Like, here's all of our military equipment. So what I like about what's happening though is Europe is saying, oh snap, we got to do something because he's going to be marching through our countries. So what I like about this is Europe is really, really, really stepping up, which is buying America some time. We need some time. And then like you guys said, I think Biden is just going to make it happen any way he can make it happen. Don't underestimate these big changes in March and April that we could have some real changes in the map, in the Senate, in the House. I mean, I think people could step down and we could have special elections by June and we could have a whole different ball game.
Oh, interesting. I could see it. We've been saying that the House very well might
pretty quickly, all of that really quickly. and then we can get this show on the road. We can get money to Ukraine. We can get the
NATO's
border
getting
taken care of.
nervous. I think NATO's getting nervous, in a lot of
Yeah,
European Union countries. But I see planes being given to Ukraine.
Yeah.
This is almost reminiscent of when during World War II, when Hitler was attacking Great Britain, and they were this close to losing, but they didn't. They kept fighting. So Ukraine's not going to lose. They're going to keep fighting. They're not going to surrender. Here's a good question, if I can put it up.
Yeah.
Nancy Robbins, I'm thinking of going to Eastern Europe this summer. Will it be safe? The answer is yes, it will be. Putin's next targets will be Romania and Poland. Will we be in a NATO war there this summer? I hear no.
No.
But I think Putin has in mind that if he can win Ukraine, he can go up to go to the Balkans.
The Baltics. He's already said he's aiming for Estonia. Estonia came out and said, our intelligence says Putin is coming for us, but not this year.
Right. So he's aiming for Estonia, the part of the Baltic republics. And then I think he had in mind to go into maybe Romania as well, because he's already said that any country that joined NATO after 1992, he doesn't recognize.
Doesn't count. It doesn't count.
And he said in that same statement that he wanted the satellite countries of the former Soviet Union back. So he kind of is telling us what he's thinking, but I don't see him being successful in that.
And he's not going to go after Poland. Poland will whoop his butt. Poland is looking for an opportunity to do something. and they know that. They know that about Poland. Poland is just like, please, please, please accidentally send something to us.
Putin will be another during World War II when Hitler over Poland like that, but he thought he could do that in Ukraine. But United States has over 100,000 troops stationed in Eastern Europe. So
Poland, these countries are not going to know.
Estonia,
the Baltic states. There's that little Monclova. What is the name of that?
Moldova,
Moldova, yeah.
Moldova. I knew a guy from there, and he came to the United States because this was 10 or 15 years ago. He said, Russia's going to attack us. I'm out. I left, he's a young guy. So he left. He's like, I'm going to make my, play here. But he met a beautiful woman from that same country here. And now he's back there. But I mean, he knew then, these people know Russia. It's like New Yorkers know Trump. They've been trying to tell us,
Right.
Europeans know Russia.
Right. And I also think that though, Navalny, I had saw him being a kind of a big leader. He's dead now, but in the Soviet Union,
he's going to be a martyr
at some point.
Yeah, me too.
But I think I had, the right name, just the person mixed up, because what's going to happen is Navalny's widow. She's living in Europe somewhere, but she's going to be a huge force in bringing down Putin. Huge.
I agree. But is she safe, you guys? Is she safe? Because I'm not sure she's very safe at all.
I agree with you, Susan. I just read on that on Tuesday. I do fear for her safety. I see that she has a lot of security, but I don't know if it's maybe a close call or something like that, but I was feeling that as well.
Well, I'm worried about her security. But, all this opposition that Putin is killing, I mean, it's coming back to him. Oh, we're going to extend the investigation. You can't have his body right now. I think that now she knows. She really, 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 really has to watch her.
She really does, until Putin is gone.
Right.
And even after that, it's like right now the threat level is like max. And when Putin is gone, it kind of goes to like medium, but so, do you guys remember that pilot that took the Russian helicopter?
Yes.
And landed it? Did you guys hear about him being assassinated in Spain?
Yes. He was shot and ran over. And we all know that Putin had that done, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You're not safe. That's what I'm saying. They found him. They hunted him down. They found him. And I'm terribly afraid that's what they're going to do. But it would be stupid, because then she's going to be a martyr. I mean, it's going to come back on them tenfold if they do something to her. Now, they're not the brightest people, and they're also desperate right now. They're literally, backed into a corner.
Well, before the Bolshevik Revolution, Lenin kind of spearheaded the revolution, and he was exiled to France, I think. And so I kind of see the same thing, that, people like Navalny's widow and other people are like that woman that Putin jailed,
Yeah.
his opposition. But people that are no longer living in Russia will help spearhead getting rid of Putin.
Oh, absolutely. My guides had always told me, I personally never felt the best for Navalny. I knew, like, energetically he wasn't in a very good place, physically, but I got a message when I heard that he passed, that he's going to lead the movement from the other side. And
Yeah.
I've always been saying, like, springtime, this eclipse, there's a connection between the eclipse and the downfall of Putin and a revolution in Russia. And I feel like we're really on the precipice of, a bit of chaos, but ultimately leading to a much better Russia afterwards.
Yes, I agree.
And with that, Ukraine, it kind of de-escalates. I see it being a bit tense over some of the areas for a little while, but I do see, like, Ukraine. I don't think it's like all of these missiles and explosions that are happening now. I see that kind of calming down.
I see a democratic Russia, but I wrote here that Russians, a lot of the people were like placing flowers at like a little memorial for Navalny, and hundreds of people got arrested.
Yeah.
But now they're going to start protesting, and they're going to be like, you can arrest some of us, but not all of us.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I agree. I saw all that too. I really did. So I love it when we're all seeing similar thing, because that gives me hope that it's really going to happen. It's just about timing now,
It is.
The timing is the worst. But I don't think this eclipse is going to be very good or very healthy for these dictator type people.
No, I agree.
I agree. I mean, the rest of the world, everybody's eyes are woke up. It's like, I think people in the beginning were afraid of Putin, but now they're not afraid of him so much anymore. They're like,
Well,
no.
look, I mean, he hasn't bombed anybody with nuclear weapons. I mean, he's just all talk. I mean, he doesn't really have, if he didn't have these drones from Iran, and he didn't have an endless supply of men to just keep throwing at Ukraine, he would really be in poor shape.
Well, he can't fight a war on all those fronts. I think his idea was to go into Ukraine, then to go up into Estonia, but and Moldova, and then into Romania, and also into Slovakia. But I don't think that's going to hold up. You can't fight a war on that many fronts.
No, he really can't.
Hitler, the turning point of World War II was when Hitler had the non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union, and he invaded, and Hitler almost got to the capital. I think, was it Stalingrad, or he was right outside with the capital, and then the winter hit, and it was the winter that caused Hitler's defeat. So I also think climate is going to help bring about
climate, right? And astrology. I had this astrologer on who's just amazing, Lorraine Gibbs, and she said, did you guys ever remember the thing called the Enigma machine?
Yes.
The Enigma machine, which was the thing that they found in the German U-boat. And it was like the code breaker. It helped Britain gain access to all of these secret codes. And that's what turned the war. And she said, the same planetary alignments are happening right now as when Britain got a hold of the Enigma machine. So there's so many things that are happening right now. It's not just the eclipse. There's so many things that are sort of lining up for justice.
Well, actually, what happened in Great Britain, there was a movie made about it. There was a scientist, and he was pre-computer, but the Enigma machine, it was, I worked on the U-boat at the Museum of Science and Industry.
Oh, cool.
And they have the Enigma machine there. So it had these little cylinders, and when you would type, it would just pick different numbers at random. And then they would send the message through, and some way or another, they decode it on the other side. So Great Britain had this scientist, I forget his name, there was a movie made about it. He was gay, and later on he was persecuted for being gay, but he's really the one that broke the code. And then when they got the U-boat here the one that's at Museum of Science and Industry, they kept it very secret because they were able to get all the records out of it. So they had broken the codes, but that capturing those U-boats helped them even more.
I see.
So they were intercepting the German messages, but the Germans didn't know it.
Sure. Okay.
And so that was a big.
So she was making some connection to some planetary influences that were very similar. So I think there's just a lot of reason for hope. And then a lot of people are asking in the comments about Navalny's daughter. I did see Biden being very protective of Navalny's wife and of his family to the degree that he could. I think that he will offer everything that the United States can offer to help them be protected, especially if his daughter is here on American soil going to college. So I definitely see Biden being very, protective of them.
Well, if something happened to his daughter while she's here, and
then it's on us. Yeah.
From Putin, that's not going to look very good.
That's not going to look good.
In the MAGAs, but I think Navalny's daughter will also become a strong force in making sure that democracies are upheld. So
yeah,
I love it. I don't fear for the daughter's safety as much as
the wife. For some reason, the wife. Yeah. And I guess his mother, where does his mother live? Some people in the chat were also talking about his mother. I don't know where his mother lives, but so apparently Tara Vincent's saying that Biden met with them both in California today. I think he did that on purpose, right? To say to the world, we're watching these two. If you mess with them, you're messing with me. You mess with me, you're messing with the United States. I think he did that very publicly and very boldly to send a message.
Well, I think what empowered Putin was when Trump made that stupid message. Well, any country in NATO that don't pay their dues, I won't say anything if Putin wanted to invade them. I'm like, what? I mean, that emboldened Putin. But I see Putin unemboldened and Trump unemboldened as well.
Yeah.
So he has a brother, I guess. I gather he also has a brother.
Who does?
Navalny. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that he will be a strong force too, in helping to bring Putin down.
I don't know. Yeah. I worry about the brother, the mother. It's there. There's a way of making you feel pressured and scared and terrorized if somebody else gets unalived. You know what I mean? It's almost worse if somebody else you love gets unalived.
Well, if these people end up murdered or just found dead, I mean, everybody's going to know who did it. And it's still, the more he kills people that stand up against him, the more it's going to incense the rest of the world.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. It's true.
Patricia says the Russian government will not release Navalny's body to his mother unless she allows for cremation.
Yeah, because they don't want the poison to come out that they killed him with.
Exactly. Exactly.
But it doesn't matter. You can play your games, Russia. We don't believe you anyway. So it doesn't matter if you made him or not. We don't care. We're not going to believe anything you say anyway. So,
well, when I first heard that Russia said they were going to delay the release of his body because they needed to extend the investigation, I'm like, there'll never be a body. And my guide showed me, I'll bet they'll cremate him, and that's exactly. I think
that's what they're going to do. They're going to do it anyway.
I think he's already cremated. I think
they're going to do it anyway. It's evidence. You make the evidence go away. It's
exactly.
Yeah. I have a question for you both, and it affected me on both of my phones today.
Yeah, it affected me too.
I didn't have a cell phone for half the day today.
Yeah. What was the cause of the AT&T outage? I wasn't picking up that it was like a hack or anything like that. It almost felt like it was like the maintenance not being upheld or something like that that caused the issue. It's interesting because my work phone had service in the morning and then it lost it, but my private phone was out for like all morning and early afternoon.
I don't think it was hacked. I don't think it was terrorist. I think that I just put aging infrastructure.
Yeah. The maintenance wasn't upheld with it, or there was negligence there.
And I mean, what a big deal that it affected the country. I mean, my God, but I mean, that's the next frontier. It's very easy to hack these things.
Yeah.
You know, and
I got a question about that. And it's going to sound cocky, but I thought of it today. Will they adjust our bills, our phone bills, from the time that it was out?
You know they won't.
They won't. But what I see with that's class action lawsuits, and whoever files a class action suit is going to win. And they're going to say that they have to reimburse us for those hours that our phones were
we're
out.
all going to get a check for $1.50. That's what's
Exactly.
going to happen. If that, you know, when you get that check, you're like, what's this? And you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that, right? I kind of see Elizabeth Warren. This feels like Elizabeth Warren to me.
Oh, okay.
Like she would get behind this and be, you know, hauling these people into, but you know, really, when you said, are we going to get a rebate on the bill? I heard it, our bill's going to go up because they're going to say, oh, well, remember that, you know, time when your cell phone was down, we need to go ahead and update all these cell phone towers. So we're going to have to, you know, raise the rates.
Well, it's like the same thing when Spectrum goes out. I lose internet for half the day or don't have cable for half the day. Do you think they adjust my bill? No.
No, they don't care.
Well, when you try to get a hold of them to ask them to adjust the bill, you can't get a human.
Yeah. Joni says they will reimburse you if you ask for it. But then I got to go through, you know, an hour on hold. And then somebody's going to ask me, do you want to upgrade? Do you want this? Do you want that? They're going to do a sales job on me for 25 minutes. And by that time, I'm ready to get on the roof and jump off.
Is it going to be worth the $1 or $2 that
No, it's not worth my peace of mind is very priceless these days.
I'd rather get the 50 cents on the in the check for the class action suit.
Let Elizabeth Warren do it for you and get your 50 cents.
I got a check once for 9 cents. Would you believe that? Cost them more to write the check.
Oh, I hate that.
Right?
No. And the stamp.
A lot of people are saying that there's been a lot of solar flare activity, which is maybe why the energies felt so exhausting for us too. I don't know if I feel like it was a solar flare that knocked it out. I'm almost feeling like it was not getting kept up. Some kind of neglect.
Yes.
Is what I'm picking up.
Deferred maintenance.
Yeah, that's the thing of
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. Oh, this is interesting. What do you both think about this? Julian asked, will MAGA come out to vote in November 2024? What will happen with the Biden impeachment now? Well, I don't see the impeachment going through, although they're going to try. But I almost feel, and I've been saying it I feel like Trump will win the nomination and then maybe isn't around come voting. But I feel like the MAGAs are kind of pissed off with maybe whoever the RNC puts in, and like a good like half of them decide they're just not going to even vote.
Yeah,
this is going to sound terrible, and everybody, please don't send me a bunch of emails. But in a way, I hope that they do try the Biden impeachment because it's going to make them look like a bunch of goofs, and people are going to be they can't even approve a budget, but yet they're wasting our taxpayers' money on something that's completely frivolous.
Yeah, they can't even pick a leader. You know?
No.
It's crazy.
No. By that time, people are going to be sick of them.
I'm kind of feeling like Mitch McConnell might be out sooner than later too, because I feel like
I agree.
In the Senate being all out of whack too.
Yeah,
but
I don't think the MAGAs are going to vote. I think they're going to be. What I keep telling everybody is that when your friends, your MAGA friends, say they're all the same, I'm not voting for anybody. The Democrats, the Republicans are all the same. That's their way of saying, I'm not voting because the system is rigged against me. You know, they won't let me vote for Trump because he's not there. So I'm not voting. I just don't see them voting. And I think we're going to need that because I think there is some kind of cracks in the Democratic Party around this Palestinian thing. So I think we're going to need all the extra help we can get.
But I see that resolved pretty much before the election. Remember, it's 9 months away. And was it 9 months? Whatever it is.
What's resolved? What?
The Palestinian thing. I think it'll be resolved by the time the election rolls around.
Well, it'll be resolved, but that doesn't mean these people won't be mad. I mean,
but here's what I'm thinking. There can be so much that can happen between now and election day.
No, that's true.
By the time election day rolls around, that'll be old history.
You're right. I think we're gonna live a year in the next 6 months. I think you're right. I think it's gonna be an incredible amount of things.
Yeah, but I I do feel like the Republican Party is going to be split in half. It's going to be a bit of a civil
Yes.
war
Yes,
amongst the
I agree.
Republicans. I feel like even some Republicans might hate the Rhino Republicans more than they hate the Democrats. They'll just sit it out.
That's
I mean,
right. And
there's
then they're going to be busy fighting each other.
There's so much that can happen in 8 months, but I don't know. Some people are saying that because of the whole Palestine thing that they won't vote for Biden. And I'm like, yeah, but then that's a vote for Trump. If you don't,
I know, but look, I'm just saying there's a lot of rappers. Snoop Dogg. I mean, this guy in Houston, Killer Mike, I think his name is. There's a lot of rappers who are coming out publicly for Trump. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But
well, it's like those gold
ignore
shoes.
it. I don't think we should ignore it. I'll say that.
Yeah.
No, we should ignore it. I agree. To ignore it is dangerous. But for every person that comes out for Trump, 5 more will come out for Biden.
No, I agree. We're not going to lose. I'm just saying, I hope the Democrats pay attention because
they need to, and they need to get more vocal. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Do you both feel a government shutdown march? You know, the Republicans want to take a 2-week vacation. They can't get anything done, but want to take it right before.
It's insane. They're just tanking the government. They're just tanking us. It's clear. They're trying to tank us. They're trying to destroy us. I mean, it's clear.
And they don't care. They want to create.
No, they don't care.
Do you ever notice when the Democrats or the independents are in control of the House and the Senate, things go smoothly. There's some hiccups. But the minute the Republicans took over the House since the midterm, it has been nothing but chaos.
Yeah. Really, truly.
If they shut it down,
I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Are they going to shut down?
I don't think so. What they'll do is come to some kind of agreement to extend it out a little bit more.
Like a last minute, like a last. And that's what they want. You know, that's something interesting, Mel. You know, they just want to re-up it every 30 days because they want a crisis every 30 days.
Right. And they'll keep doing that until almost election time.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Until ultimately people say, wait a minute.
It's the perfect thing to run on. You know, it's chaos.
It is.
Yeah.
What are you getting? What are you getting, Kevin?
Well, before it always felt a government shutdown, so it makes me a little bit unsure. If it does shut down, I think it will be short. But I agree with you. It almost feels like they do another, stopgap measure?
It will.
But I feel the Republicans are getting so close to flipping on Mike Johnson, and maybe it's because of this and the Ukraine funding. But I see them throwing him out just like they did Kevin McCarthy.
So do I. I've always seen that.
And then do you see a woman taking over, or do you see Jeffries taking over?
I see Jeffries.
Immediately after Mike Johnson?
No, not maybe immediately after, but Jeffries will be Speaker of the House.
No, I see that too, but I think there could be an interim Republican.
Yes, I agree with that.
Lamb.
I heard yes.
It's somebody that's actually voted in as Speaker, or is it Speaker pro temp like what was his name? McHenry. I almost feel like you can't vote somebody in, and so they have to kind of do a workaround, and it gets to a point where some of these moderate Republicans are just like, fine, we'll make a deal with Democrats. We'll get some kind of bipartisanship in. This party's crazy as hell. You know,
I see 2 more people leaving the House very, very soon. And I think the Republicans and those seats will go Democrat. That's what I keep picking up. So that one.
I agree. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, how much of a lead did they have? 2 seats or something?
They're down to 2 seats.
Yeah.
Two seat majority, right?
Right.
I think 4 of the seats are vacant, if I remember correctly. So they have to have special elections to get those seats replaced. I think most of them are in pretty red districts. Although, like I said, I did feel like Santos's seat would go blue. But I do feel like there's more people that are going to leave. So it may shift things before more people.
I see 2 more seats going blue soon.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
Soon before you mean before the election?
Oh yeah, before the election. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've all 3 seen that then together, that we're going to pick up seats before the election.
Yeah.
I've been seeing this too. Well, we picked up, Santos's seat, but I think we're going to pick up a few more. Oh, this is a big deal right here.
Oh yeah.
We feel Alabama will go purple with the embryo ruling.
What was that embryo ruling? I heard a blurb about it, but I didn't have my hearing aids in. What was it about?
They're people. Embryos are people.
Oh, that's right. That they said they have the same rights as. So
now you can like write them off your taxes, right? Like now I've got 19 dependents sitting in a test tube, and I want my taxes lowered because they're dependents. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely, people are tearing them apart on social media. Everybody's coming up with new ways that you can use these embryos as you know, like get out of jail free cards or whatever, you know what I mean? Or less money, or just, it's crazy.
So what happens to the embryos?
They're protected. They're humans. If something happens to them, then it's murder.
But who pays for them to be stored? The people that...
The parents.
That's crazy.
The parents store the embryos because you never know how, you know what I mean? You could go through quite a few embryos that don't work. It's not enforceable. It's not. It's the height of absolutely batshit crazy. And I think this is the kind of thing that we need. We need this because then the average person who's just doing their thing, who's not paying any attention to anything, their daughter is like, can you believe this is happening? What's happening? And now they're all going to start paying attention. It's going to be one camel straw that broke the camel's back after another between now and August.
Well, I put that thing in Alabama. I wrote overturned. So at some point it'll be overturned, and I see Roe v. Wade being reinstated. But that brings up a question. So what if a woman in Alabama decides to go through IVF, in vitro, and they put the embryos in and they don't take? Is that considered abortion?
Exactly. Exactly. Right. Or did that doctor kill it? Is that medical facility? So all these big, huge, this has cost a lot of money. You know, to have this, it costs a lot of money. And all these businesses that offer this are having to stop. They're like, we're stopping. They can't operate.
I think the message to Alabama is the same message to the Satan in Florida. You don't mess with Mickey Mouse in Florida. It ain't pretty. And you don't mess with big businesses, these big corporations that have these IVF clinics and all that in Alabama, because you know who they're going to donate. They're going to donate money to Biden, and they're going to put a lot of money into getting that overturned. It's just draconian. It's ridiculous.
It's draconian, and it makes you look really stupid. It makes your state look stupid. It makes you look backwards. They picked a good state to do this, but somebody said in the chat earlier that some other readers said that they were going to go after birth control. And this is step one. Step one is the IVF and then birth control. And please, I'm telling you guys, stop wasting my time. I don't have all summer to deal with this. Let's just put it out there tomorrow. Go ahead and make birth control illegal. Please, I'm begging you, because the very next day, all of y'all will be out of a job because you won't even be able to get out of your house for all of the women and men trying to attack you. So please, I'm begging you, go ahead and go after birth control. Please,
they will. They will. And
we won't have to worry about an election. Biden will just stroll into the White House.
I think you're right that, you know, in a way, what they did in Alabama is horrific, but what they did is they're helping to turn that state purple. And I do see them going purple as a result of all this batshit crazy stuff.
And here, Tara Vincent's right. Nikki Haley agrees. This isn't just Alabama. Nikki Haley agrees that embryos are people.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you guys, listen, I'm not going to get triggered. Don't worry, Kevin. I'm okay. I've been inoculated, but I am going to talk about Liz Cheney. It's the same thing. She comes across as being this, I'm a moderate Republican. I'm on the side of the good. But she's agreed with Trump 90% of the time. You can't separate. There's no space between Trump and Nikki Haley. I mean, really, how much space is there?
None.
How much space is there between Trump and Liz Cheney? If you think an embryo is a human, you shouldn't be driving a car. I've got questions about your ability to operate as a human.
I agree with
you. I got a little triggered.
No. I like the trigger. Go with it.
No, Kevin's always like, "Oh, what's gonna happen?"
Anytime we talk about Liz, Liz
He
Cheney.
won't even let people mention Liz in the chat. Everybody knows, don't mention it because I get.
I wrote here, Susan's trigger is going off. Keep going. I put it in my notes.
Oh
I don't know if I feel Alabama's going to be purple. It still feels like it's going to be a little bit red, but I definitely see it getting more towards purple. But I think all of this crazy with this is going to turn other states more purple. I mean, as we saw with Kentucky, with Bashir, but also too, who was it in the Supreme Court was just saying that we should revisit gay marriage.
Yes.
So it's like they keep on pushing these things.
No.
And they're going to continue. They want to take us back 100 years.
Yeah.
I saw on MSNBC briefly today or tonight before we did the show. There was a conservative political action committee that met, and the first thing that they were up there saying is they weren't saying down with democracy, but pretty much that they wanted this theocracy in this country, the ultra supposed right wing or the ultra right wing supposed Christian nationals, which is not Christian in my opinion, to take over. And they're going to do away with gay marriage. They're going to do away with abortion. They're going to do away with women's rights. They're going to do away with all of that. They want to take us back 100 years, but it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. It's just not going to work, guys. Our kids, these Gen Zers, millennials, they're just not going to be down with this. They're just not.
Yeah.
Alito. There it is. Alito. And also, Speaker Johnson's the same thing. You want to know about me? Pull the Bible out. And there's a great meme going around with the answer to that. So should I, my son is wearing a cloth made of 2 fibers that don't match. Should I stone him now or later? You know what I mean? It's like, you guys, this is ludicrous what you guys are talking about. It's ludicrous.
Alito was always against gay marriage.
Yeah.
So, but too bad. You know what? Nobody tells him who he could marry. All right.
And probably interracial marriage too. They're going to go after the whole thing, and it's not going to work. The crazier they get, the better, because we need to get it out there so everybody can see, so everybody can really see, not this, smoke and mirrors conspiracy theory thing. These people need to state what they really want, and then Americans can say yes or no.
Right.
Absolutely. Oops.
They have gone bonkers, Hilda.
They've gone batshit crazy.
They probably always were, but now they're just wearing it. They're wearing their freak flag.
Well, not only do they drink the Kool-Aid, I think, people worry about radicalization in countries that are Islamic, theocracies. It's happening here. Look at what's going on here. Who would have ever thought 10 years ago that would even be having this discussion?
No.
Right.
No, but you know what the guides show me is that picture of those Iranian women that were wearing dresses, and then 1 year later they're wearing completely black. 1 year. Right. So yeah, who thinks it can happen? It can happen, right?
It's happening.
It's happening in front of us.
We need to vote and get our voices and speak up.
Absolutely. What do you two think about Nikki Haley? South Carolina primary is up this, I think, Saturday. She says she's going to stay in the race, but I see her exiting sooner rather than later. I almost feel like maybe she stays in after South Carolina, but then leaves Super Tuesday, beginning of March.
I don't think she's going to. I see her leaving ultimately. I mean, but I don't think it's going to be.
You see her more like May or
I'm picking up like June.
It's interesting because it does seem like the money behind her is doubling down. Like there's, and we need her because she's a great punching bag against Trump. I mean, she's doing a lot of work for us right now with the whole memory thing. She's doing a lot of work for Dems.
And we also need Liz Cheney because even though I despise her politics, she's doing a lot of work against Trump. So
I know. And I feel the same way about Haley. She's reprehensible. And you know what the guide said to me? And we need to maybe talk about this because, let's just say that Haley did better and there was money behind her and Trump fell down in front of a McDonald's delivery van and didn't make it. Let's just say that happened. I mean, Haley could really be a problem for us as a real presidential
She
candidate.
could. That's right.
She could. I don't want that.
No,
Right.
I agree. She could very easily win. And so maybe it's better if Trump does stay in for a bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. It's weird. But yeah, I mean, I'd rather her go out around Super Tuesday. And then let Trump be on full display with his, chest beating, I'm the winner, I'm the man. Because in the meantime, he's probably going to malign or slander or libel some people. So some more people get sue him.
He's going to slander.
He's still slandering E. Jean Carroll.
She's going to sue him again.
She's going to sue him again, which I told people that she was going to sue him the second. People are like, no. I'm like, no, she's going to sue him the second because of that attorney. Her attorney's like, I know how to do it now. Let's do it 3 times. It's easy. It's going to be easy.
And you know what? And she'll win again. And I'm going to tell you something. With that judge, he keeps slandering.
I know, right?
There's a gag order or something. And Trump, I keep seeing him held in contempt. I really do. So I'm like, yes. I guess the question is, do you all think he'll make it to the election? Because I see him convicted. And if he doesn't make it, then would Haley step in? She very well could.
That is we do need to talk about that because Kevin and I have been seeing independently of each other that Trump doesn't make it all the way to November. And I just see, and I think Kevin has the same thing, that the Republican Party's like mayhem. It's like rudderless. There's nobody there. So I don't see Haley stepping back in to get that role for some reason.
She'll try.
Right. And I think DeSantis will too. I mean, they'll all put that back on. They'll get out their little Sunday best and get back out there. But I don't see them having any traction. That's why I just heard it again. I see the Republican Party going to Youngkin and saying, please, you're our only hope, come out here and run. But I don't think he wants to because he wants to run when the country is all fixed up nice and pretty after Biden gets done.
Mm-hmm. Right. I agree 100%, Susan. I almost feel like Youngkin might be the nominee in 2028.
In 28. He wants to be the nominee in 2028. He's going to be fighting Liz Cheney, I think.
He doesn't want to go up against Trump right now as the party's crumbling down and have that be his legacy. But, wouldn't it be interesting if Nikki Haley did end up getting in there? Because I think that would further explain why the MAGAs are pissed off and half the Republican Party doesn't come out and vote. Can you imagine how mad and upset they would be if they took it away from Trump and his VP and let Haley take it?
That's right. Oh, she doesn't win. Right. You're right. Just like somebody said, Joni said, they're not going to vote for a person of color. They're not going to vote for a woman. Right. So they're going to stay home. So maybe that's what happens. Maybe they end up just staying home.
Well, as it stands now, I think had the election tomorrow, Nikki Haley was the nominee and so was Biden. Haley could probably beat him.
Yeah.
But between now and the election, there's so much that can happen.
No.
And I wrote here in my notes, a lot of these MAGA ultra right wing so-called Christian, the Bible thumpers, as I call them, what Trump is doing is really should be against a religion, the lying, the cheating, the adultery, this and that. But they look the other way because they want to tell the rest of us how to live our lives.
Yeah. They're giving them some kind of they have a name for it. Did you know that? There's some name like the sullied prince, he's just a playboy, you know what I mean? Like they're basically excusing his behavior.
Correct. But that CPAC thing today where these politicians were so-called people, we're going to do we're going to do away with birth control. We're going to do away with this. We're going to have that. We're going to change the Constitution to make, this a Christian nation. And I'm like, okay, but they're so anti-Christian because Christianity teaches love and inclusiveness and all of that stuff. So, so you're right. I think for a lot of the Bible thumpers who don't want birth control, who don't want this, who don't want that, to put a woman in would run counter to the grain with their philosophy. So
yeah. So that's how Biden gets in. I mean, that's it. I just, they don't vote for whatever reason. And there may be many by then, they don't vote. They're just like, I'm sitting it out. They're not even protest voting. They're just not voting.
But Kevin, you came up with something really good. And Susan, I think you affirmed it. What I'm picking up, like Kevin, kind of what you said, there's a lot of Republicans that are moderate that are just waiting in the wings like the vultures to wait until the 2020, when's the next election? 2028.
Yeah.
To throw their hat in the ring because they know Trump will be washed up.
Yeah.
And I see an end to the MAGAs at that point, or at least they'll be going by the wayside, a lot of them. So,
yeah. I just want to say thank you for the super chat, Chantel. And if I miss anybody else for the super chat, I believe there was one more. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Joni is saying breaking news. Yeah. Yep, you saw that, huh? If you say breaking news in the chat, we're all like,
I had said that Trump would try to divert funds, so that his assets, so that he wouldn't have to pay Carol and he wouldn't have to pay that $355 million. So, wow.
Attorneys. So it's not Trump, it's his attorneys. Once again, he gets people to do his dirty work.
Yeah, but who told him to do it?
Yeah, well, but they're dumb enough to do it. They're going to be the first people on the hook. Wow.
You know what I just got?
What?
But one of them is going to come forward because I don't know if that's a breach of attorney-client privilege at that point. It wouldn't be. If your attorney, if you're told by your client to do something illegal and do it,
you pierce.
One of them is going to come forward and say Trump told them to do it.
Yeah.
And so he's going to have more charges. And I see these attorneys indicted. Yay.
I'm telling you, just leave him to his own devices. He's going to end up indicting himself multiple times.
He thinks he'll never get caught. But I would just be interested to find out how they caught him.
The AG, the New York AG, Letitia James.
You don't play.
What? That woman should, in the whole trial, she just looked at him with that look like, how many extra underwear did he have to pack? How many? I'm saying we should do like one of those football squares. I'm saying at least 3 extra underwear, at least.
Oh, I say more than that. At least
10?
Oh, yeah.
Well, how many diapers, actually? Because we all know he likes to wear diapers. How many diapers was he wearing?
Oh, how many diapers? Okay, yeah. How many diapers? How many?
I think with that, as scared as he was, he probably needed 2 or 3 to make sure there was no leakage.
Oh, no. I think he had
3 at a time.
He had a suitcase full of them.
Extra absorbent.
One of those briefcases was full of diapers. It wasn't full of papers. It was full of diapers.
It's funny.
Real quick, what do you guys think is going to be the outcome of Fani and Georgia?
I feel like Fani's going to win.
I'm sorry? I couldn't hear.
I see her win. Mm-hmm.
Wait.
You heard the same thing? What was it?
Yeah, what did you say? Susan, what did you say?
I said she's going to win. What did you say, Kevin?
I said I felt like she was going to get through it. Yeah, I see her staying on the case.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Because I see somebody coming forward and saying that the lead prosecutor, I can't think of his name, that his wife was paid by Trump and Trump's cronies for her to break that story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, snap. Oh, if they do that to Fani Willis, she'll burn them alive.
It's going to come out. You'll see.
I love it. Yeah, she's going to get through this. The thing that I'm upset about is that really and truly, if anybody's watching this video and you have anything to do with Trump, please, for the love of God, just become a eunuch for the next year, because we can't afford it. You guys have got to be the straight and narrow. You can't do anything. Democrats are held to a different standard than Republicans. So no hanky panky, no nothing. You got to you took the job, finish the job. Don't cause us any trouble. I know it was within her rights. I know she's an adult. I know she didn't do anything wrong. I know that it wasn't illegal. I'm just saying that this is like you're handling radioactivity. You really need to be careful, and you can't just live your life like you normally do. You really have to be, this is so important, but here we are.
Well, Trump will try anything to get out of trouble. And Trump does what he does. He tries to assassinate the people that out him.
That's true. Character assassinate. Character.
Funny, but it won't work. I mean, so she's dating the lead prosecutor. Big deal,
Yeah.
I think they're mixing apples and oranges. But
look what they did to Hunter. My God.
Exactly.
Over nothing. Over zero nothing.
But
then that cocaine that was sawdust.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you kidding me? They photographed sawdust on an actual circular saw.
And then taking
here's the murder weapon, folks. Here's the sawdust.
And then taking pictures from his computer that got hacked into by somebody and putting them on naked pictures. If somebody did that to Marjorie Taylor Greene, well, who'd want to see her nude, number one? But if they did, it would be like, oh my God, So I agree. But I'd be interesting to see how it turns out in Georgia, huh?
I almost feel like the judge kind of reprimands her a little bit, though. Like, it feels like a little bit of like a slap on the wrist is what I'm getting. I don't see her being taken off the case, though.
But if
I don't either.
The lead prosecutor steps down, and I see that he will, she's going to put somebody in his place that's going to be a junkyard dog. I mean, she's going to put somebody really tough that Trump won't be able to get anything on. And so it'll be a slam.
I wouldn't mess with either of those women. I wouldn't mess with E. Jean Carroll, Tish James, or Fonnie Willis. Nope. And I for sure wouldn't mess with Jack Smith or Alvin Bragg. These people are not playing.
They're not playing. No.
They're not playing.
They're serious. But it'll be interesting, huh?
Yeah.
It's going to be a wild ride. Wild ride.
Do you guys see Matt Gaetz getting indicted? Because I do.
Yes. I always have seen it. That hasn't changed.
Me too. Yep.
I always said those charges would come back up, but I guess
back around.
I guess the person they had, wasn't a credible witness, but now some other people have come forward who are credible witness, including
for sure receipts.
And he's going to be, maybe he won't resign. He'll just wait, just like Santos did.
I think they're going to Santos him. Yeah, I think they're going to Santos him.
They will. That's exactly what will happen.
But how desperate it's got to be really bad for them to do that with their 2-seat majority.
But they are investigating him. They did open up an investigation.
But I'd almost felt with McCarthy, McCarthy was going to have the last laugh in the matter since he ousted Gaetz ousted McCarthy. It's like McCarthy's working behind the scenes to get Gaetz out of there.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people are. I'm thinking they're working to get Marjorie Taylor Greene out as well.
Yeah.
Biden's going to sue her, by the way.
What?
Hunter Biden is going to sue Marjorie.
Oh, good. And I hope he sues all. I hope he sues all of those people for real.
He's going to, and he's going to win.
Who's the guy who's going to get sued? Who's the guy who said the bad things about the Kansas City Chiefs, the shooting, and then the guy that got drug into, and he was sitting. They took a guy that they said was a part of it, and they put him in handcuffs and they set him down in public to sort the whole situation out. Well, that guy turns out he was not part of it at all. The cops let him go. But meanwhile, some elected officials started saying that he was part of it and then just character assassinated him in public. That guy is suing him, the congressperson.
And he's going to win.
And he's going to mop the floor with him.
And I hope the congressperson issues an apology, which we all know won't happen. But I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, he can apologize after he's writing that big old check.
Right.
Well, he's going to have to write a huge check.
Write a big check.
You got that right. So.
Yeah. You would think they would learn after Trump took his $5 million and somehow got it Vegas all the way up to $85 million. You'd think they would learn to shut up, but they don't.
The
rep was from Kentucky.
They think nothing's going to happen to them.
What's that?
They think nothing's going to happen to
That's true. In the past, it hasn't, I guess, right?
Right. So, oh, somebody says Ukraine is getting planes from the EU. Wow. So they're getting planes, I guess. Good.
Oh, interesting. Well, we've been on for like an hour and 15 minutes. Is there anything else that we want to read on real quick before we wrap up? We have 1,900 people in the chat.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for spending your evening with us.
Yeah.
I had a good time. Thank you for inviting me.
Susan, I think we both got triggered tonight.
Oh, it's not hard for me, Mel.
Me either.
People know.
I get on the bandwagon and it just goes.
Yeah, me too. God bless y'all.
Crazy everything that's going on. It's like I don't know. We live in such a alternate world right now with the Republican Party and just everything that's coming out. It's crazy.
Well, I think a lot of us are going to get triggered even more. So
yeah,
we have it.
That's the country I saw. Denmark gave Ukraine all their weapons. I mean, all their weapons. They're just like, take them all.
Good.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yep. Yeah, it's good. It's good, guys. Thank you guys so much. When I'm Dark Karen. Oh my God. No middle name called me Dark Karen. Now there's a Dark Karen, not just a Karen, but a Dark Karen. Oh my God. All right.
Let's do this again, shall we? This was fun.
Yeah, I would love to come on with y'all guys sometime. Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Kevin didn't get a word in edgewise between me and you. Mel and I are both from Kentucky, so we're talkers.
That's right.
All right. It's a lot of fun and hanging out with everybody. But do us a favor. Please hit that thumbs up.
Yes.
Please subscribe. Really helps. If anybody would like a reading with Mel, how do they get a hold of you?
They call my office at 847-590-5411 or go on my website, www.meldoerr.com and call about the Africa trip. One
little opening. Wait, does that mean they have to leave their husband or wife behind, or can you expand it by one seat?
I can't expand it. They won't let me.
Okay, all you single cougars out there, might be your time.
There you go.
Might be your time.
You'll have a blast.
You have a what, Mel?
They'll have a blast. I'll tell you that.
They'll have a blast. You might meet the love of your life. Who knows?
There you go.
You never know.
Susan,
okay.
My website, www.susanlynnmedium.com. Just check it out. You can find out everything I'm doing there. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And if you like a reading or a Reiki session with myself, send me an email, kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com. I have all of our information in the description box. But it was a lot of fun, you guys. We will have to do this again soon. I'm sure next time I'm working with Mel or Susan, I'm sure there's going to be so much news between now and then. So I look forward to all of our future readings together. So
yeah, Susan, stay on hold. We might need you again next week.
Stay home. It's like stay for call in, last minute call in. That's hilarious.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
It is very exciting.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great night, everyone. See you all soon.
Bye, everybody.